Hello everyone, welcome to my reading wrap-up for August, and I got through 5 books, and I have to say I really did enjoy all 5 of them. And I'll start with The House at Riverton by Kate Morton. And I have read a couple of other books of hers in the past and really did enjoy them. I just really like her writing style and her characters and the stories that she tells. There's just something about her writing that I really do enjoy, and she does the dual timelines. So this one, in present day, this woman is in a nursing home and she's about to turn 100 years old, so she's had quite a long eventful life, and it goes back in time to when she was a maid in the manor home just outside her village. She was 14 years old when she first started to work in the manor in 1914, so just kind of the onset of the First World War. And in the present day, she has a secret that she wants to tell her grandson, who's a writer. She's had this on her mind for years, and she had witnessed the death of this certain person, and she wants the truth to come out about what actually happened. And so in the past, you go through when she started off as a housemaid, and then she became a lady's maid to the daughters in the manor, and the family dynamic in the manor, the lord and all that stuff. It's very complicated. There's a lot of drama going on, a lot of things happening with the First World War, etc., etc. And like I said, in 1924, so 10 years after she starts there, someone dies on the estate, and her and the sisters witness it. And when she's, slowly dying, like she knows she's dying, and she wants to get this secret out before she passes away. So anyway, I really enjoyed this. I don't know what it is about her writing. It's very slow-paced. I do like historical novels that are slow-paced. I don't know what it is. I just enjoy it. The way she writes, I guess, does help it. But yeah, I just really, really enjoyed it. I got very invested in the characters. And yeah, I probably give it like, well, not a 5. Let's say a 4.7 stars out of 5. I really, really enjoy her writing. And I do have a couple of others of hers. Now this is Summer Hours at the Robbers Library by Sue Halpern. And I really love the cover. It just reminded me of going when I was young. I went to the public library all the time. I was just walking there all the time, and like, Mom, I'm off to the library again. And of course you had those little sign out cards and that with your little name in it, and that brings back wonderful memories. But I thought this was going to be quite a light-hearted kind of book. But yeah, they had some pretty heavy topics in here. So this young 15-year-old, she steals a book from a store, and she has to do community service. So the judge says you have to go work at this library for the summer and like volunteer. And her parents are very, very neglectful, and she comes across the one librarian who came to this small town to escape her past. And you don't know what the past has been. You get flashbacks once in a while about what happened in the past. And then there's other characters there, like the librarian assistant. There's these gentlemen who come in each day, the group of them, and slowly things kind of start to unfold. And yeah, there's when you finally figure out why this woman came to this small town to become a librarian, it is quite shocking. Like, I was not expecting that. It's like, whoa. And, there's a death here too. And like, it was just like some heavy stuff. I thought it was going to be light reading. But yeah, it was a bit of a surprise, but a good surprise. I really did like reading this, so I give it like a 4 out of 5 stars. And then the next book is by Erin Craig, and she wrote House of Salt and Sorrows, which I have somewhere that I would like to read. I did enjoy this one. This is called Small Favors. Now they don't give a date of when this happened, but it's still horse and buggy. People have gone out west to settle, so probably 1800s or somewhere abouts. This small village has particular rules that everyone has to follow. They're not heavy-duty rules or anything like that, but they're kind of rules that everyone kind of follows to help survive. And their early ancestors, when they first settled in that area, there's stories that there's these monsters in the woods that will kill people, and you're to stay outside the woods. And they have bells and chimes and everything set up to keep the monsters at bay, though no one's really seen them. The present day people haven't seen these monsters or anything like that. Twice a year, a group of men go to the city, which is like a week's trip away, to get supplies. And during the last trip, they were all murdered. I think all 5 or 6 men were brutally murdered, and everyone's thinking it's these monsters or whatever. So they have to decide, well, are we going to send out another group of men for supplies? If we don't get supplies, we won't survive the winter time. So they take a vote and they decide, no, we're not going to take a chance and have these more people killed to get these supplies. We'll try to make it through the winter somehow. So this one particular family, there's 3 girls and a boy, and their father is a beekeeper, so he kind of makes the honey and that for the village. And one day when she is down by the river, she meets this young trapper who's about her age. She's 18 or so, and they kind of strike up a kind of friendship in that. And then they decide when winter's coming on, they decide, let's send some more people to the city to get supplies, because there's just no way we're going to make it. And unfortunately, they die too. And then all these strange things start happening in the village. Strange accidents and fires and all these really weird things are going on, and then it kind of goes downhill from there. So yeah, it's kind of an odd little bit of a story, but I would probably give it like maybe a 3.8 stars for this one. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. And then this is The Cottingley Secret by Hazel Gaynor. So in 1917, I believe, this young girl and her mother went from South Africa to England to stay with her aunt because the husband and the father went off to war, and she didn't want to stay alone. So her and her cousin struck up a very wonderful friendship, and they decided one day just to take pictures of these fairies, because the one girl says, I'm sure I saw these fairies, but no one believes me. So they decided, well, let's take a picture and we'll fake it. We'll do these little, I'll draw fairies and cut them out, and we'll take pictures. And some people believed them, some didn't, but it was kind of like, okay, whatever. And then somehow the pictures ended up at this kind of meeting or society, and actually, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who wrote Sherlock Holmes, actually saw these pictures and he was convinced that they were real, and then it kind of took off from there. So this is based on a true story. It's speculative fiction, but it is based on a true story. And they actually have the pictures in the back here that were taken by the girls that were actually published. So yeah, it is speculative fiction. This is her account of maybe why they did it and that sort of thing. And this woman here is actually the daughter of one of the young girls. So yeah, it was a kind of a fun read. And then this is Orphan Train by Christina Baker Klein. So last month I read Exiles, which was a 5-star read for me, and it was about these women convicts from England who are sent to Australia, the colony of Australia, to do out their sentence kind of thing. And half the book took place on the ship and the hardships and everything, and then the rest of the book was about their time in Australia. It was such a good book. So I decided to read The Orphan Train by the same author. So this is about the orphan trains between 1854 and 1929. They said about 250,000 children, orphans, were sent out west from the east to help people who couldn't have children or what have you, or just needed some extra help, and they were sent out. So this main character is a young Irish immigrant, and her parents and her brothers and sisters died in a terrible fire, and she was put on board and sent out, and she just went through hell and back. She had a couple of families to stay with, and that didn't work out. For these children, sometimes it worked out well. They were adopted by a very loving family. Other children were just basically used as slave labor and abused, physically, sexually, psychologically abused. And so this just follows this one particular young girl and what she had to go through. So, and in present day, this young orphan, she is in foster care, and she's been through many foster homes. She has to go to this woman's house when she is older and help her go through all the boxes in her attic and all that stuff. And they realize that both being orphans, they do have much more in common than they thought they did. So yeah, I really do like her historical novels. They're very good. So alrighty, so that's what I read in August, and I've already read through one book, and it's the Deanna Rayborn Victoria Speedwell series, and it takes place in the 1800s, and oh my gosh, I just love those books. It's the second book of the series, and oh man, it just gets better and better. And then right now I'm reading A Secret History of Witches by Louisa Morgan. And she has written quite a few kind of witchy tales. So now that it's getting pretty close to fall there, it's the perfect time to get into my paranormal, witchy, medieval kind of books. So this takes place over 5 generations of mothers and daughters, and they're actually witches. And it starts off in Brittany in 1821, and then I believe it ends around World War II and that, so it follows this family of witches over time. So yeah, I just getting started there. Got a few chapters in, so far so good. So that's it. Yeah, hopefully I can get a little bit more reading done. Our dog had surgery, so I just got overly distracted, so I didn't read as much as I wanted to, but anyway, hopefully I'll get some more done this month. So hope you enjoyed. Everyone take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.